Hello, my name's John Armfield. Last week we released episode 7, part 2 of the Truth, Accountability and Justice series. Episode 7, part 3 of the Commander Fiona Southwood files is ready for release. But this has been a massive week, and in the game of chess, several moves are slowly going my way, and we want to let those moves unfold. The most important development is this. The ADF lawyer appointed to represent my brother's interests in 2025 has now released his independent legal review and response to the Inspector General ADF. It completely aligns with my evidence and investigation that I have provided defence since 2021. The lawyer confirms 3 critical facts. First, the senior medical officer and the commanding officer breached mandatory defence policy. A risk management team was required, not optional, under Defence Instruction General per 16 TAC 26 and Health Directive 294. It was never stood up. That was a fundamental breach, not a technical oversight. Second, the ADF failed its duty of care. Defence was on notice after my brother's first suicide attempt, yet failed to maintain oversight, failed to implement a crisis management plan, and effectively abandoned responsibility while he was in civilian care. The lawyer states defence failed to discharge its own duty of care. Third, a commission of inquiry should have been convened. The absence of adverse findings in the original inquiry was not because failures didn't exist, but because legal advice shut them down on technical grounds. That absence was then wrongly used to justify not establishing a commission of inquiry. Everything I have evidenced and released across episodes 1 to 7 is now validated by an ADF legal officer acting independently. In episode 7, part 1, I stated on numerous occasions that in 2022, I quoted Marcus Aurelius and told Commander Fiona Southwood, "All I seek is the truth. Tell me I am wrong and I will stop." She refused to say I was wrong. She refused to say I was correct. This week's legal evidence explains why, from flight lieutenant level through to the Chief of Defence Force, they knew and they chose not to lead. I've been correct since the 16th of August 2021. The actions of the ADF were intentional and malicious. This vindicates my actions, my persistence, and my refusal to accept institutional gaslighting. This matters because commissioned officers, acting intentionally and maliciously, they destroyed my mental health, they destroyed my career, and they destroyed my life, while insisting nothing was wrong. For more than 3 years since August 2021, not a single ADF officer acted morally, legally, or in alignment with the ADF values, ADF policies and regulations, or the rule of law. I have highlighted numerous breaches of legislation by our military. A military that allows and endorses officers such as Lieutenant Colonel Matthew Freeman. Matthew conducted an investigation. An ADF fact find that the IGADF identified was conducted without required qualifications. A fact find that disregards a Royal Commissioner's expert instigating advice and legal expertise by attacking an enlisted member's use of the ADF medical and mental health facilities. The discipline applied, Freeman was promoted to Colonel and has now been shipped away to Vanuatu. There's an old saying, the truth will set you free. This week it did, both my heart and my mind. One lawyer's courage, one ADF officer's adherence to the service values, the first leadership displayed in its entirety of this situation since 2011. This has restored my belief in humanity. It has recharged my resolve in this battle. Episode 7 Part 2 is live now. Episode 7 Part 3 is soon to be released. I'm sorry for the delay. And finally, just maybe, the chessboard is in balance. Maybe David can defeat Goliath. Thank you.